back. We're back. This is the end. Do you listen to Adele? She has a
I
song
do.
and it starts, "This is the end." So as soon as I said that, it came to me. And then all of a sudden, my mood went from here up like this. So, no, but seriously, this is week 12 recap, final regular season game of the season. And obviously, this isn't the kind of conversation we wanted to have because when we got off last week, we were like, well, what if? Well, what if? So all those things didn't happen. So we're not there. So we're here and this is where we're at. And so Colorado's regular season has ended. They have had their last home game at Folsom Field for the year. And obviously bowl situation hasn't been figured out. All of those things are still left to be figured out, but the season has come to an end. We were talking before this and I'm like, I'm sad that the season's over because I like love watching football, but in a weird way, I'm kind of like, what happens next? Like, what's the transition? What do we look like? What do we do next? Early signing day is this week. So all the things are happening. So how are you feeling? What are your thoughts?
Honestly, it's bittersweet. I wish Travis and Shador could play for another year, but it's exciting to see them move up to the next level and see the effect that they can bring. And I'm really waiting to see where they get drafted. That's going to be
Yeah.
major if they go back to back. That's going to be crazy.
Oh, that'll be fun. That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. And see, there's a couple of things that in the off season, it's kind of like, okay. So yeah, that's a good point. I think the other thing is too is, and I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I want to tell you how amazing it's been to not only just like record these every week, but to watch your content and to enjoy this experience through your eyes, I think is super important because obviously there's so many different things and ways that people cover Colorado, but there's nothing better than seeing it through somebody's eyes that are doing it for fun and doing it because it brings you joy and doing it because it makes you happy and it's fun for you. And you went to every single game. And so I just wanted to tell you at the beginning of this video that I'm proud to see all the stuff that you're doing and the evolution of your videos. Like, you don't know this, but earlier today I took time to like go back and watch your very first one that you had into this one because it was a home game. And so I cheated. I didn't tell you this before we hit record, but I went back because you should know by now, like that's what I do, right? Like I research and all this stuff. So I went back and I watched your content from then to now. And I'm like, this is so good. Like, it's so good. The quality, absolutely amazing. Camera, fantastic, all the things. And I'm just proud that for you that you accomplished that and that I get to talk to you. So if I don't tell you enough or if I don't show you enough or whatever the things are, like I needed you to know that I appreciate you. I appreciate this collaboration. I appreciate the effort, the time that you had to deal with me when I'm asking you for pictures and asking you questions and all the things. Like, thank you for, just like being amazing and showing us your evolution and allowing us to be a part of your experience because you didn't have to. And we wait for those videos. So thanks for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And of course, and like always do, like at this time, like if I haven't already, all of his information will pop up on the screen so that you know where his YouTube is. You can find his YouTube. You can go find him on Twitter. So I'm saying all that to say, give people their flowers when you have the chance to give them their flowers, because sometimes you like tell people, like let people know how much you appreciate the things that they're doing. And I am not a traveling content creator like you, but it's hard. And so just the amount of time it's taking you to edit, get those videos out, make it look good, quality's good, like all the things. So kudos to you. I'll stop praising you, but kudos to you. So just needed to say that before I started. And this game, okay, it was 52-0. So there's not really much we can really like get into. I think the opposite happened the week before where it was like Colorado, quite frankly, got their butts handed to them. And there was nothing for us to really talk about. Kind of felt like the same in reverse here. So I don't know if you want to share anything from the game. I mean, the questions that I have was like, it was cold. Obviously, I didn't realize how cold it was when I saw like the snow, and I don't know. I guess the TV cameras did a really good job. I didn't realize it was that cold.
Yeah, it was really cold, like 24 degrees. before kickoff. Yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
people, I was freezing. I had my hand warmers and my feet warmers. It was insane.
I just I didn't realize that. And then the other thing is, was it slippery? Like since because like when the ground gets cold or ice or whatever, when you walk on it, it gets slippery. Did you slip at all?
Only on like the concrete areas or like
So it
in the
was
stands a
slippery.
little bit. They had salt. They put salt out too,
Okay.
so we wouldn't fall going up the stairs and stuff. But
Got it. Listen, I'm from the South. Okay. When it snows here, we don't do anything. We just wait for the sun to come out. So,
yeah,
so when people have precautions for the weather, I'm like, oh, okay. All right. That's
mhm,
cool. Because,
mhm,
here, we're like, no, shut it down for 3 days. No, it doesn't matter. It's done.
yeah,
We're not going
yeah,
outside.
at
So,
all.
okay. Okay. And then the other question is how tight is the sideline? Like they talked about it on TV. And I believe they said there was another stadium that Colorado went to this year where it was that tight. Is Colorado like the tightest sideline or
It's
like what is it?
Yeah, it's the tightest sideline I've ever been on in all of football. Like it's
Interesting.
super
Okay.
tight. Like it's
Yeah.
maybe 6 or 7 yards, like from the
Oh, that
field
is
to the stands.
yeah, it is tight.
That's
Okay.
nothing.
Because
Yeah.
it always looks so crowded. And then I'm like, I don't really
hmm
know if it's crowded or small.
hmm Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it
It's
is
it's
kind of
small.
small.
Very
Okay.
small. Very small. Yeah.
Fair. And then I saw that they played the Mariah Carey song, so that was great. Like,
Yeah.
excited to see
Yeah.
everybody get excited for Mariah Carey to be
Yeah.
played after
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Like that, the pass the vibe check. So kudos to them for that. And then the other thing I noticed too is when Shador caught or when Travis Hunter caught the touchdown, the final touchdown in Folsom Field, you were kind of like, I think we just saw the last
Yeah.
So what was
Yeah.
what was that like for you?
It was bittersweet, honestly. But I'm glad I was in position and I had my camera ready, to capture that moment. And not
Yeah,
only did I capture the play, but I also captured the reaction of the fans, because I feel like that's important to me,
it is.
these reactions and how they appreciate the team and them the players bring them so much joy. Whenever you
Yeah,
see other people happy, it's kind of contagious. It's like,
I
that's
agree.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that I love about watching your videos is, and I've said this before, it's like you can capture the moment that puts us back in the same moment because we also remember how we felt when we saw it on TV, but obviously we're not there. And so it was nice to see you say that and then to almost go, oh, wait, oh gosh, that might have been the like, but wait, oh gosh, does that mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, that little reflection moment was cool. When you go to the games, what all do you have? Do you have your phone and a camera? Or do you
Yeah, so
have
so I
okay.
invested in like a camera like halfway through the season, but like I do all my videos on my phone. Everything is done from my phone. So
Got it. Okay. I what kind of phone do you have?
iPhone,
Which
iPhone
one?
15. Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
have the Pro Max?
yeah. Pro Max. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. The it's usually are you in Cinemax or what is it?
Mm,
Cinematic? Oh, because
cinem-
usually what is it? Cinematic? It tells you
yeah,
how much I use
cinematic.
that. Okay.
Yeah, cinematic.
Are you I sounded like, are you in Cinemax? That's not even a thing.
Yeah.
It's not a thing. But it's always interesting because usually on phones, when somebody is moving, they don't catch the background. But yours is a really good job. Like I can see like I could probably identify people like if they were like people I knew, I could probably be like, oh, there's my brother, there's my like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
so clear.
yeah.
Awesome.
Like
Okay.
little settings that you change on there, like the frames per second, you can change. Yeah.
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 Awesome. Did you see the video come out of Cameron Silman Craig like sitting on the field and taking it all in? Or had
I
you already
didn't
gone to the locker room?
I didn't see the video, but I saw a picture of him. But
Mm,
I was trying to follow everybody else. So
yeah. 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 Speaking of following everybody else, what was Shiloh doing? Oh, by the way, all these questions I'm asking, you have to see the video in order to understand the full context. What was
yeah.
Shiloh doing?
Shiloh wanted to go into the stands to personally thank the fans himself. So he went into the student section fully geared up, helmet buckled, everybody's hitting him on his helmet. Good job. They were surprised too. And then I seen like a group, like when you're in a crowd
Yep, you
setting
can
and you
see
see
it.
like groups. And I'm just like, what is going on? And then I see the little helmet. I'm like, somebody's up there and they're hollering, Shiloh, Shiloh. I'm like, oh my gosh. But no, it was really cool and people were going crazy and yeah, yeah.
Good for him. I feel like Shiloh always does things that you're like, nobody thinks about doing it, and then Shiloh does it, and you're like, that's Shiloh. That makes sense. That's very Shiloh. That makes
Yeah,
sense. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's cool. The other thing is I love how personable Shador gets when he's talking to fans.
Mhm.
And he'll grab their phone, he'll like interact. If they just want to shake his hand, he'll shake their like I love it goes beyond just signing. It's like an acknowledgement of like,
Mhm.
hey, I see you. And it might not mean anything to him because he's just doing it, but I hope he never loses that quality because you know what I mean? Like there's certain types of interactions with certain people where you're like, that person actually cared that I was there for like 2 seconds. I needed that. you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
How do you
Mhm.
feel capturing it?
Honestly, it's amazing. Like you mentioned, like for some people, this will be their first and last time ever seeing him play live,
Hmm.
and some people probably won't go outside of Colorado, who knows, but
Yeah.
just to say people travel from across the country to see him play in their last game. So
Yeah.
for him to do that and take time out for them to give back to them for their investment, it just means the world to, the fans.
Yeah, I love that. How did it feel last gamey to you? Like, did you tell by the energy? No, not really.
No, no, honestly, it didn't. Because I was still thinking we have a chance, and
Oh, right, because it was on
yeah,
Friday. It
yeah,
was
it
on
was on
Friday.
Friday. I was like, I got my
Okay.
fingers still crossed really tight,
Yeah,
but
I forgot about that.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
it
And
didn't feel.
so the other thing is did they so obviously they announced the seniors, they walked out. Did they do anything special for the seniors? Like, were all of them on the field together? Did they come out for the coin toss? Like, did they do any of those like because that's where I
Not,
usually am like, "Oh my god, this is so great." Like,
yeah, not that I remember. Not that I remember.
okay.
I think this game they were very locked in and very focused, and
Yeah.
they wanted to win and win big, and that's what they did. So
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think that was
cool.
my.
So let's talk about since we usually do like our offense player of the game or defense player of the game, but like let's skip that. Let's who and I'll answer this too, but what was like your highest moment of the season? Like what was the moment for you of the season being there that when it happened, you won't ever forget that moment when it
Mhm.
happened?
Can I say three? I have three in my mind.
Yeah, go for it.
So the first one that comes to mind is Travis Hunter's first Heisman pose at
Eisen.
UCF.
Yeah. I knew
That
you were
was
gonna say that.
crazy. That was crazy. That's definitely one of those.
Okay.
Um, Second was when LeJontay caught the pass versus Baylor.
Hail Mary.
Last minute Hail Mary. Yeah, that one
Okay.
was pretty
Okay.
cool too. Let's see. One more. Maybe the Travis catch when he caught it, when the hand was in his face, and
Oh, North Dakota State.
yes, North Dakota State. Yep.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
a
pretty
good
cool too.
that one is actually a really good one. That's
Hmm.
a really that's a really good memory. And I remember, yeah, because I remember coming off that game, I was kind of like, what are we doing, guys? Because it was like we almost lost. Like I just remember
Yeah,
thinking, like, is that like I hope that that's not who we are.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just remember thinking that. So I'm gonna kind of cheat here because so I had them going 7-5 heading into the season. And there were so many ups and downs moments where I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? But the one time I feel like I kind of started to go, okay, maybe this is different was when they came out against UCF. It was in a rain delay. They were heading into a bye week. They had been beaten by Nebraska. They look good in Colorado State, but I was still kind of like, I don't love it. All the things I can come up with of all the reasons why I was kind of like, eh. And then I remember thinking, oh, great. Now we're in a rain delay. Now we're on the road. Like this is like, but I'll never forget that game because in that video I made when I was like, I'm proud of them. Like I was proud. I was proud. Like they came out, they got that turnover to start, or Shador like turned the ball over to start the game. They come back, defense comes on the field, gets the ball back. They come out, they run the ball, they pass the ball. Like the defense looks dynamic and the offense looks dynamic. And it was the first moment where I said, wait, like,
Yeah.
are we good? Like, I was kind of like, and I think I made a video and I was like, I'm so happy. Like, I'm so happy. Like, this is, it's kind of weird. I kind of remember word for word that night when I was like, I'm so happy. We had a game plan. We executed. We ran the ball. We did, like, I was so happy.
Yeah.
And I was like, we stopped the run game. Like, I was like, who is this team? And so that was the first moment I feel like for me that I was kind of like, I now have expectations, right? Like I now am like, okay, this is my standard. I need you guys to beat that every week. And so I will forever remember that moment. And wasn't that coming off the Baylor game too? So I didn't know how they were going to respond. So anyways, it was just that for me, because if anybody doesn't know by now, I'm one of those people that I like judge things by kind of mood and momentum and emotion and like the things nobody will ever kind of think about. But I'm like, the moment that it fires for me, it was that moment where I was like, and I even think in that video I said, some of us had a different type of prediction and it's time for us to like rethink our predictions. And I believe that was UCF. And so anyway, so that was my moment that I'll never forget how I felt in that, like during the game, after the game, make a video of that game. I was like, okay, guys, welcome. Yeah. Like, I'm so excited. So that was mine. The Hail Mary, I was kind of pissed off at that whole game. So I wasn't sure how to feel, but that was a great moment. Great moment. Yeah. And then, so if that was your best, what was your valley? Like what was, and you can give me as many as you want. Like what was the moment this season where you were like, oh my gosh, what was that? Can we not do that ever again?
Well, I'll just say we went into I'll just say 3 tough environments, but the first environment was Nebraska. That was a crazy environment, and then we started off very rough, and when you're losing bad and people are yelling at you, it's like, okay, guys, we're already losing. What more do you want? Like,
sorry, we suck. Sorry.
And the crazy thing about it is, like, when the players were coming out of the locker room, like, if there were no fences there, they would have probably tried to hit them, like, literally. For sure. Like, it was insane. It was insane. Second, I would say Texas Tech, very, 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 very interesting, tortillas that could have been ate or eaten, they were just wasting them away, but
shout out to Lubbock.
Yeah, shout out to Lubbock, and the Red Roof Inn. Yeah, that was a low.
Your 12-hour stay. Your 12-hour stay.
That was a low. That was a low. Let's see. Also, that flight was crazy to get into Lubbock. It was
because the mountains. It's probably like getting into Vegas. There's always that kind of weird what is it called? Weird turbulence when you go over the mountains and different things like that.
And my last one would be probably Kansas. Yeah.
I think I didn't think about Kansas because I felt like I already knew who this team was by Kansas. So this is going to kind of sound self-serving. Kansas was the moment that I had to stop myself from coming on camera and being like, I told you. Like, and I actually think I said it, but I wasn't like, nobody will ever know this, or they're going to know this if they get to 20 minutes in my recording. What I actually recorded and what I actually released isn't the same thing. So part of my process is like hit record, say what you want to say, and then once you kind of get that off, go back and record and do your thing and determine what you want to say, right? What you want out there.
Right.
But
right.
Kansas, in my opinion, was demoralizing. But Kansas also, in my opinion, was it for me, that icing on the cake where I honestly could be like, every video that I have made led to Kansas, and all of you were telling me I was crazy. All of you. And now look. Like I didn't release that version, but it's like, so Kansas to me, I was kind of like, and you know this about me, I was kind of like, yeah, you can't really stop the run. Like, you just can't. So I've been trying to tell people that the whole year. I don't know why nobody wanted to hear me, but whatever. I think so. So I'm going to take it back to the Kansas State loss, because the Kansas State loss was, I believe, and I can't remember exactly the order of events, but I think the Kansas State video was the video where I said, I have this team figured out. I know this Colorado team because I've seen this happen with Texas when we sucked. And it's like, you never know what you're going to get. And the thing, and it's the little things you're not going to know. You're always going to be talented. You're always going to maybe have some of the best players on the field, but you just don't know when it's going to work and when it's not going to work, because I feel like that's what happened with Kansas State, and we couldn't stop the run. And so it was like, there was a couple of times this year where I had to recalibrate myself, but after Kansas State, I knew exactly who we were. And so it's like, because we went from UCF, had the bye week, and I was like, if they come out in this bye week and they're ready to go, then they will be that team. But if they come out in this bye week and they're not ready to go, they're going to be this other team. And that's what they did. And so for me, by the time Kansas rolled around, I was like, and I think I said in that video, I was like, if you knew that I was right, just put it in my comment section, like, because it was like, here we go. I was just hoping that I saw it wrong and I was misinterpreting, but I wasn't. It just 330 yards. I'll never forget. I'll never forget that. You want to know why? The reason why I'll never forget this, and if you don't follow college football, you will not know. Kansas is the reason why Charlie Strong got fired from Texas. Again, I called it like 4 weeks before. This team reminds me of this Texas team. They're going to go and some team is going to embarrass them that should never embarrass them. I've seen this story before, and it just happened to be freaking Kansas. And I'm like, oh my God. Kansas was 0 and whatever. Texas rolls in and they didn't destroy. So I think it was like 45-44. And I believe they fired Charlie Strong like the next day or that night or whatever. And so it was just like, whatever. So that's why for me, I'm like, screw Kansas. Whatever.
Yeah, they have an NFL back, man. He's definitely going to be something special on the next level.
Yeah. And if Ollie Gordon goes to the NFL, or if he comes back to college, like if that guy ever, I will always say Texas broke Ollie Gordon. That is my thing, and I'm sticking to it. I think last year the Big 12, he had Big 12 championship games. I think he had like 36 yards or like something laughable. But if I don't know if that guy loves football. I hope he does though, because he's huge. He can be great. So I don't know what he's gonna do, but I hope whatever he does, he figures it out. But so that was my low point. My low point was when I realized I was right after that Kansas State game. And I'm just like, terrible clock management, terrible. So, is there anything that you're going to take with you from this whole experience that you've had this season? And then I'm going to ask you what you're looking forward to next season.
Anything that I want to take with me? Most importantly, something that I said on my social media on the flight home is, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's something that I've been kind of like resonating with for the past few days, because the journey was definitely not difficult, but there were some challenges, and that's what transformed me internally into a different person, and being exposed to different things, and being able to adapt, and seeing that ultimately this experience has been amazing, not only for me, but to show it to other people, you know. So
And you've been pretty resilient. You've kind of had to be, just obviously based on things that have happened, but traveling, if you've never traveled every week, you have no idea how hard it is, how taxing it is, how tiring it is, different coasts, different people, different time zones, different everything. You're not at home. You don't sleep in your own bed. You still got to go to work. You still got to like all the things. You still got to be a good friend. You still got to be a good son. You still got to be like all the things.
all of those
It
things
is hard to travel that much every week. And so like, that's why I said like, kudos to you. I don't think anybody will ever realize how hard it is to do what you did consistently. And you kind of feel like people are depending on you in a weird way, like, because it's your channel and they're coming for the content. You want to give them the content. And so that also can be taxing, because this isn't like vacation where you get there and you get to like change clothes and go to the beach, like hang out for a little bit. So yeah, so kudos to you for that. I guess the last thing is what are you looking, well, not the last thing, because we got to talk about the pizza, but what are you looking forward to, like moving forward for? And I guess, they'll have the bowl game, but like, what else are you looking forward to as like, cause this is it, right? Like you were here, you're 11-1, you're 4-8, you're 9-3. Like, what are you looking forward to for this Colorado program?
Most importantly, them building a foundation. And it seems that a foundation has been built over the past two seasons, but most importantly, seeing how the torch is going to be handed over and picked up and ran with, what is there going to be a difference in the coaching schemes, the different, Shador was a passer.
Run the ball. Run the ball.
Yeah.
Please, I am begging.
Yeah, and just seeing how that changes,
Yeah.
And but most importantly, on the creative side, just being more of a storyteller, and just finding different ways to do that, whether it's sports or just traveling as a whole. So
yeah, it's kind of turned into a therapy session. Tell me your goals. Tell me what you're looking forward to in the future. So, for those of you that have never been to therapy, that's kind of how it goes. You get to have your moment and to like express yourself. I think I like processes, and I like building, and I like the grind, and I like the behind the scenes work that nobody ever knows that you're doing. And then I like it revealing itself when the next season starts. And so I think that's where we're at. Like, that's the next kind of stage of this is, okay, so what does it all mean, right? Like, you don't want to go 9-3 and then go 6-6, right? Like, and I'm not saying you have to go like 9-3 or better every year, but that's kind of the hope. Obviously, going from 9-3 to 8-4, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, you want to keep kind of building and keep growing. And obviously, like always, it depends on how you lose, not just that you lost. Right. So I think that that's important. But I am just excited to see like what is this, I guess, because I feel like we kind of knew what it was for so long, because we just knew what it was, right? Like we had the people that we knew what it was. Those guys were the guys that were going to go to the NFL. We knew the story.
Right.
Now I'm not like, what's the story?
Yeah.
Like what are we striving towards? I know what my expectations are, but like that kind of doesn't matter. So like, what is the next? I don't know. I don't know what that is. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of cool because we as fans, we get to like figure out what that is for each of us.
Mm-hmm.
But it's weird because we haven't ever been in this situation.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. So now that the bowl game will happen. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know what you and I are going to do. We'll figure out what that means for us as far as coming on and chatting, even if we just randomly do things just randomly at random times, just because we want to, that's cool too. Like we'll figure that out. And so that's that. The other thing is, your content moving forward. I know, well, I won't say anything. You tell us whatever you want us to know. Like, what can we expect from you in the off season as you move forward and do I'll shut up. You just go ahead.
The most important thing for me is just to always get better, always enhance my quality, my pictures, my editing, different things. Most importantly, just get better, whatever it is. And as I mentioned, doing sports, doing traveling, even short films. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love
got
that.
some things
I
up my
love it.
sleeve. Yeah.
Yeah. You're super creative. I'm
Yeah.
actually not that creative. I'm really good at executing. That's my
Mhm.
thing. And so that's how my brain works. I'm always thinking about how do we execute it? What is the process and how do we execute it? And it feels like you're more on the creative thing of like, ooh, I can like take this to the next level if I do that. Yeah, that's not me. I hit record and I talk. Like that's the best I can do. So anyways, getting at the end of this, there's a couple things I wanted to mention. And again, if you haven't watched the vlog, go watch the vlog. Everything I'm about to mention is in the vlog. And if you don't see it, none of this I'm about to say will make any sense to you. But the first thing is the pizza. Was the pizza good? And where was the location that you went to?
Yep. So I went to the Sink. It's in downtown Boulder, like maybe a mile from the stadium, maybe.
Nice.
A lot of people, it's very popular. The Sink is a University of Colorado favorite, like fan favorite. So it was packed after the game, and they have really good pizza.
Love that. And did you go to that before you went to Travis's pop-up?
Yes. Yeah. So,
Got it.
um,
My type of guy. Stop and eat, get full.
yeah,
Okay.
the line for that was across the street from the Sink, and it wrapped around the block, literally
Yeah, I
wrapped
think you
around.
showed that in your video.
Mhm.
And you didn't show, I don't think we saw the interaction or whatever, but yeah, you know what you have in your video. I don't need to tell you what you have in your video. It's crazy. And then my other question is at the very end, a random Gatorade bottle came down the escalator. And listen, as somebody who consumes a lot of content because I like the diversity that people bring to their content, something about that moment stuck with me. And I know it's weird, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
whatever story you wanted to tell or whatever reaction you wanted from that moment, you got it from me. I don't know if you got it from anybody else,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
whatever it was, I was locked in and I literally was like, ooh, that was kind of cool. And so I
Yeah.
like took notice of it. So was that your intention or like, okay, so
It
you were
was it
editing and you
was
were like, I need this.
well, when it happened, I was recording just like the TSA line, but when I saw it going down the steps, I was just like, and
You
I was
just
like,
got
that's actually good. It's like authentically, it's real. It's real time.
yes.
This happens. Like this is so imperfect. So yeah.
Yeah. It kind of feels like when you're watching a movie and everybody's intense, like this is dramatic, but like somebody dies and everybody's kind of intense and everybody's crying. And then somebody kind of tells a joke and everyone's kind of like, oh, he would have said that. Or you know what I mean? It's like it was like that
Yeah.
moment where you're like, you're expecting one thing and then you get
Mhm.
this other thing and you're kind of like, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and again, like leave it to me to notice like these random like pieces that you add to your videos. So
Yeah.
that and the puppy cam, I will always rember
Hope you can.
though, because I that caught me off. Both of them like caught me off guard and made me take note. No, and the was it the horse at
The
Texas
Texas
Tech?
Tech. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another thing where I was
Yeah.
like, did I just see a random horse in this video? Like, did I see tortillas and then a horse? Like,
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we will end on you. I think that is all that I had on my perfectly written, no scribble notes. Yeah, right. And yeah, so do you have anything that you want us to know? Anything that you want us to? Oh my God, did I talk about Mariah Carey? I talked about Mariah Carey. Yes, it passed the vibe. Yes, yeah, I talked about Mariah Carey. Yeah. Is there anything that you want us to know that we should? I don't know, just anything like that you want us to know about the season, or just as we move forward, or anything. Honestly, this
Yeah.
is your time.
Most importantly, you have to try. Um,
Mm,
you have to envision yourself doing whatever it is that you want to do, because just a year ago I was in the stands, thinking, wow, that would be so cool if I could do this on the field. And, you know, a few months later, I get the opportunity, and it was insane, you know, insane to like really go on the field and like see these guys. And it's like, wow, I was just, you know, dreaming, wishing, hoping, you know, and keep the faith. Um, Never give up. Always give your best. Put your best foot forward. Even if you only have maybe 100 views, you know, in the span of 2 3 months, I went from like 500 subscribers to like thousands, you know, and it's like you hear these things, but it's just like, that won't happen. No, it can happen. It can happen for you. It happened to me. So be encouraged. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep grinding, and always dream big. So yeah.
That's a great message. I love that. Well, kudos to you for not only like just you were there, right? You were there, like you said, it was your dream. Your dream came true. And not only the other thing too, to add to that, once your moment comes, use it. It's the moment.
Yeah.
It's there, you know, like do it, do the thing. Like you can't, yeah. I feel like that sometimes with my own channel because I'm like, yeah, but I don't really want to say that. And I'm like, but that's who I am. I gotta say it. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I gotta say it. I can't not say it because then people are gonna be like, why didn't you say it?
Right.
And I've tried to make videos where I'm like, and then it was so great. And people are like, do you really believe that? I'm like, okay, so you called me
Yeah.
yes, got it. Like, so like,
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, I've had people be like, I think on minute 7:14, you didn't really say what you were thinking. And I'm like, so take the risk. Like it's
Yeah.
always worth the risk. I always say, I never get mad when anybody tells me no. I never get mad when somebody tells me no. I always try to find a way to turn the no into a yes. And everybody that knows me hates me for that because they know that. So I'm like, oh, you don't want to do it? Okay, I'll come back with a better plan in about 20 minutes. Like, give me a minute. Let me come up with a better way to ask. And so like, that's kind of terrible in a way. But it's like, if there's something that I'm very passionate about, you have to show people that you're passionate and you have to like, if you believe, you can make other people believe. That's just how the world works. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. So are you going to the bowl game? Have you decided if you're going to the bowl game?
I have to see
Does
where
it
it's at
depend on where it
first.
is? Okay, that's fair.
Honestly, I'll be there. But you know, I just, you know,
No, I
yeah.
don't know. I'm still thinking about it. We'll see. I mean, I'm already gonna have
Yeah.
plane tickets and a hotel and an itinerary, but I'm not sure yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
trust me. I've been there too. Anyways, well, we will enjoy your content at the bowl game. And hopefully you'll get to go out earlier and do all the bowl game like festivities because
Mhm.
I think they have like a lot of different like things that they'll do like different days or whatever. Usually they get there like a week ahead of time or like 4 days
Right.
ahead of time. So I don't know what access looks like with all that, but anyways, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm sure it'll be fun and we will love every single second of it.
Yeah. But most importantly, I also want to give you your flowers. You are an amazing show host. You've really pushed me to be a better person, you know, and to expand and think differently, you know, and always see everything from a different perspective.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
you pushed me to be a better content creator, and I see your drive. You always dropping videos, and you know, I try my best to support you like you support me. But you're very amazing at what you do, and
Thank
you're
you.
going to be awesome in the future. So
I
thank you.
appreciate that. And you better be glad I'm not emotional today because you almost got me.
Oh, I wanted one tear.
I would never be able to live that down. I'd be like, no, I wasn't crying. It was just onions. Okay. No, but I've had a couple of moments where I almost like, yeah, I will one day. It'll get to me. I'm not, and I'm a processor. And when you're a processor, like when you actually cry, everyone's like, are you okay? Are you okay? What happened? What happened? And you're like, no, I just realized what happened 3 weeks ago. It's okay. That's how I was when I got monetized. When I got monetized, like I was cool, calm, collected, moved on, made my videos, dropped them. And then one morning I was like, I can't believe
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah,
most random.
yeah. It's a grind.
So,
It's a
yeah.
grind.
So, anyways, I appreciate you. I'm sure we'll be back. Like I said, we can always have these conversations whenever we want to, even if we just want to do like a freaking check-in and just to say hey, and just to let your audience get more of you too going live, and then being able to see you and interact with you, because
Right.
who knows? Maybe we'll do that before you head off to the bowl game. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
well, thank you to everyone that likes this collaboration, that has watched these videos, the people who like randomly DM me about these videos, the people who comment, the people who I know that text me that are like, I love when you talk to this guy, because for some reason people don't realize their names are on the screen and they're like, I don't know that guy's name, but he's so great. All of those people, thank you too, even though you're not reading the screen, but that's okay. And I get it. Some people just listen in their ear and they're not paying attention to what they're seeing. So that's fine. And also, I want to thank Colorado for the access that you've been able to have, and the fact that I feel like they allow people to share out what's going on, and they allow people, because you know how this game goes, they don't have to. And so there's a lot of things that they're allowing for people to do, to come into their space and then share out their experiences. So just like shout out to them for allowing that and being a part of that and encouraging that and pushing that, because without them, a lot of these things wouldn't be this possible. So like shout out to that school, the football program, all the people there that are cool with it. So yeah. So there you go. Yeah, for all those people that have told me I don't ever praise them. There you go. Anyways, thanks for joining.
Of course.